Hey guys, welcome to our lesson on applying percents. We're going to take a look at some places that this is useful, some situations where this will be useful, and then look at some examples and actually calculate these and apply these. Alright, so what could finding percents be useful for? Many things, some of which calculating your tax or interest on a certain amount that you've deposited. Calculating discounts, you want to find those discounts in the stores. Finding tip amounts, very important. Much more. Those are just to name a few. So how do we find the percent of an amount? Well, it's very simple. All we've got to do is we've got to divide the percent we're trying to find by 100. That converts it to its decimal equivalent. And then multiply that by the amount that we're looking at. It's very easy. So for example, let's calculate 14% of $80. Let's follow this procedure. What we would do is divide 14 by 100, which gives us 0.14. Okay, we're going to multiply that by our $80, and we'll have it. $11.20. We just found 14% of $80. You can find any percent of this amount using that method. Alright, so that's how to find them. So applying it to a real situation, let's say you're going to go purchase a movie ticket. They're very expensive now, around $9. Let's say that you live in an area with 7% sales tax. Well, you're not really going to pay $9. You're going to pay $9 plus the sales tax on that amount, plus if you bring any buddies along. So what will be your total cost? Well, first you want to find that 7% of $9 the way we just did. And then you're just going to add that to your $9, and that will be your total. So to find 7%, remember we're going to take our percent we want, divide that by 100, and that is going to be 0.07 this time. We're going to multiply by 9, and we're going to get 63 cents, 0.63. Adding that to our original 9, we're going to be paying about $9.63. So helpful to know as you're going in to make those purchases. Alright, another area where this is useful is if you're calculating interest. Simple interest is what we're going to look at on some amount that you've invested or you're letting sit in a savings account. Let's say that you've got $500 to start in an account that earns 2% simple interest per year. We want to know what that amount is going to be after 10 years, just letting that accumulate over the 10 years. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to find 2% of 500 the same way we have been doing. So let's find that first. 2 is the percent we want, divide by 100, remember? Get your decimal, 0.02. Multiply that by our amount. I believe that's going to be $10. Okay. Multiplying it by 10 because we're going to let that accumulate in the account for 10 years. So 10 times our $10 going to give us 100. Alright, and so after 10 years we're going to have that 100 plus the amount we had initially put in. So we're going to add to our original 500. Okay, now our final amount is $600. Because we're dealing with simple interest. Now keep in mind, if we were compounding this interest over time, we would be using a different formula and our interest rate would be applied and added in each year, and the interest rate would be applied to a new amount each time. So it would look a little bit different, but here we're dealing with simple interest. So this is our amount. Alright, let's talk about percent change. If you're trying to find if a certain price was increased or decreased and you want to know what percent change was that, what you've got to do is you've got to take the amount of the change in price or whatever of items and divide by the original amount. Very simple. And again, when you're done, we're going to multiply by 100. So let's talk about gas prices because those fluctuate all the time. Let's say that in a certain area we notice the gas prices all of a sudden jump from $2 to $4. We want to know what percent increase is that. You can do this for any two amounts, whether that's increasing or decreasing. Just follow this formula. So first of all, we're going to find the change because that's what we have to put in the numerator. So $2 jumping to $4, that's a difference of $2. 4 minus 2. Okay? That's going to go in the numerator. On the bottom, on the denominator, you'll notice we need the original amount. The original amount just happened to be $2 as well. Remember, we started with $2. So we're going to divide that by 2. 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. All right, so we got our value from the formula. Okay, now we're going to take that and we're going to multiply by 100. 1 times 100 is 100. So what we're actually experiencing here is a 100% increase. And if you think about that logically, that does make sense because we jumped from 2 to 4, which is doubling totally our value. So it increased by 100% over that amount of time. So we just took a look at how to calculate some things with percent and apply them to real life situations. Hope this was helpful. And this concludes our lesson on applying percents.